It is Thursday, October the 10th, 2013. Of course, for those in the Oceania countries of Australia and New Zealand, they are fixing to end their day, and it's fixing to become Friday, October the 11th, 2013 for them. Because obviously, as we know, there's the day barrier in that area. Now, the name here is Brandon. YouTube user ID is keyboardplayer2012. And I want to first of all give some shout outs to those people, and this is a very special shout out. Today I want to set focus on the people who have decided, and I'm not just talking those people who have gone on national TV and, like on the talk shows like Steve Wilkos, Jeremy Kyle, all these shows. I don't know what kind of guests Maury's had in the recent weeks. I haven't followed his show for a long time. But I have, however, followed the other two. And one thing that really strikes me is the various show hosts, or rather the various I should say, scenarios that have been put before the hosts. In that, these hosts are basically dealing with very, very traumatic stories, and not to mention when they read the results, very traumatic reactions. And I say traumatic reactions, not dramatic, traumatic reactions. TR. T as in Thomas, R as in Ricochet. Because of the severity. I mean, you can just feel the pain of the people who are affected. And you listen to these various stories. You just feel the passion as it literally sweeps the board. I don't have to even name off names, but to all the guests who have persevered through these tough times on, say, people like on Steve Wilkos' shows, very commendable. Case in point, I'll give a couple of examples. Kia and Glenn, who, as I would hope, have persevered after what they have gone through, that they've had a wall of support, people to look up to who have been willing to help them through the tough time they went through after finding out what they did. Then there is, of course, the story that Jeremy Kyle had on. A grandmother, or rather a mother who lost her son, but the grandchild ended up being the father. That was definitely a sad show, but it was also very compelling that a lot of very hard lessons were learned, I think, and I think hopefully that family has been able to keep themselves together. Or the 6 siblings that Jeremy Kyle reunited on his show. Case in point, Season 2, Episode 60. If any of you that were on that show are watching the video, we're talking, of course, about Jeremy Kyle USA. If you guys are on there, a shout out goes to you guys as well for persevering through one of the toughest times you could have ever gone through. Again, that can also be said for, in the case of Yolanda, who was on Steve Wilkos' show for, well, obviously to try to see if it was possible to build a relationship back up with her mother, but as she learned from a lie detector result, not a chance. Her mother was too busy bringing up the past, didn't bother with her. Thus, her aunt who had been there for her through just about everything, literally, um, helping her out. Or uh, a girl, Angela, who, and I can't remember the other girl's name, but when they found out that the guy had hurt Angela's child, and she, or, and they reacted and said, put him in jail immediately. And so she was willing to go and let the police know. You know how long it takes a lot of people to communicate? It took me a year. I want to really quickly explain this. For what happened to me, it really took me a year to open up about what I went through in full. So for these people to do that, it's just absolutely impressive. I'm going to also let you know that, you guys are a great example to a lot of people. And all of you guys that persevered, each one of you is an inspiration to, I would hope, many who watch. I must say, because of health-related issues, there are some videos I have not been able to watch in full entirety because of some of the reactions replaying as constant flashbacks. The reactions themselves, it is not the fault of those who are going through the tough time. I must point that out. But scary sounds as a general deal have an adverse effect. If you guys have any questions on how that works, how a scary sound can actually have that kind of a negative effect, I would love to answer those questions for you. And you can do this by sending me an email at bhsprn@gmail.com. That's B as in Brandon, H as in my last name, Hennis, SPRN, that's Sam, Paul, Romeo, November, at gmail.com. I do use the Gmail Google Mail system. That's also the same email address that this YouTube account is tied to. So you can very easily have a little bit of fun and talk. And I will tell you, I do sometimes throw humor around. So be prepared for some humor emails as well, as I love to put a smile on people's faces. And that's, I think, the advantage for a lot of people. I want everybody out here to remember. Turn your frown upside down, put a smile on your face, because that smile will be what everyone will embrace for years and years and years to come. One thing you can do is follow me on Twitter at KeyboardPlayer2. Yeah, just utilize this and the Twitter feed, email and Twitter. And if you want external voice mediums like Skype, I will tell you that my Skype is KeyboardPlayer20131. And again, congratulations to those who have been able to pull through, and also to those who are still trying and not giving up, and advice to those who feel like they need that they need to give up. Let me remind you, you don't have to give up for nothing, because you have your whole life ahead of you, and it's not worth throwing your life away. Hold your heart as strong as you can, Love others as you'd like to be loved. And God bless. Be safe.